Tim. Welcome to our channel and thank you for logging on. Today I'm going to discuss the proper usage, setting, and care of your Greubel Forsey GMT Earth. Now this watch is formidable, and at least in terms of part count, it is complex, but in terms of use, it's extremely owner-friendly. This is a timepiece designed to be simple and intuitive. Let's start with the basics. You wind it exactly as you'd imagine. Crown flush to the case, turn in a clockwise direction. Now you're going to want to turn 20 to 30 times to start the watch, and then you'll note the indicateur réserve de marche, 72 hours, will stop traveling when it reaches 72. There are two mainspring barrels in series, and they feature a decoupling device so that once they are fully energized, the mainspring in one will slip to relieve excess tension. So once you see that indicator hand stop moving, that's your cue that the watch is fully wound. If you do want to give it an extra turn or two to be sure, it's not going to break the movement. You cannot accidentally overwind this watch. Greubel Forsey recommends that you always wind the watch fully before setting the time. And there are several displays on the dial as well as the case back, and two different ways to set the time. You can set everything in sync, or you can set one of the individual displays in isolation. To set the GMT or second time zone, you use the GMT pusher on the case blank. It says GMT, very intuitive. You'll note as you move that second time zone in its 12-hour format, local time doesn't move, nor does the globe, which is correctly oriented with respect to each of the 24 principal time zones of the world. The globe is keyed to the world time display on the case back, and you'll note that the world time display features both summertime for those cities in white that use summertime and standard time outboard. You follow the funnel for each city to the summertime alignment during the summer, and you follow the funnel to the external standard hour ring during the winter, or in those cities that always use standard time. Let's talk about how to set the watch from a stop. So you pick it up, you wind it up, everything's setting correctly. Let's start with the basics. Greubel Forsey recommends you set the correct time for your current city. So take a look at my current city. It's New York. I'm in New York. So New York is the East Coast of the United States. I lie a bit. I'm in Philadelphia, but New York is my reference city. Now it's going to be 10 in the morning in New York, and we're in September right now, so Philadelphia is still on summertime. I'm going to align the interface of that funnel with number 10 on the lacquered and engraved white gold scale at center. That's what that is. The outer scale and the inner scale are both engraved white gold. Now New York is aligned with 10. Keep in mind that the globe and all of its geographic localities are not just aligned perfectly with the 24 time zones, but they are coordinated to the ring displaying the primary reference city. So you can never decouple those two from each other. What you can do, however, is you can use the GMT pusher, which ordinarily just steps that second time zone, as a clutch. And this is what happens when you use it as a clutch. You will note that I have now isolated the local time. So I'm going to pull that crown out. Your nails will be more substantial than my immaculately groomed fingers. And then I can set that local time. Note how the globe is not turning. On the case back, the world time is not moving. I set my New York East Coast time zone, my Philadelphia time, to 10. And I'm going to set my local time while I have that GMT pusher pressed down and the crown is out 1 to 10. That's what you're looking at. I'm going to set, let's go with 10:30. So now I've set 10:30 for my local time, and if you were to trace my US East Coast profile on the globe down across its arced surface, you would find that it would be aligned with 10. And you can see on the case back, New York remains aligned with 10. There's New York, there's 10. This will move automatically, as will the globe, as time advances. Now what you can do, once you've set your local city, you have minutes that you can read on the local time scale. You can get AM, PMs, whether you're looking at 10 AM or 10 PM, by looking at the 24-hour scale presented by the 3D globe, or by going to the case back to see what 24-hour format time is aligned with your reference city. Okay, and I can do the same for my GMT time. As you'll note, I can move the GMT, or the second time zone indicator, using that stepper, and it doesn't affect the alignment of the globe, it doesn't affect the alignment of the world time. The watch features a number of care and feeding guidelines once you've set your local time and your GMT and world time. Water, magnetism, and shock are the three greatest threats to your watch. Let's talk about water first. This watch is 30 meters water resistant. For practical purposes, that means it's safe to splash while washing your hands, and if you get caught out in an inadvertent, unplanned rainstorm or skyburst, you'll be okay. But the timepiece is not intended for bathing, showering, or swimming. It's important to remember this example is on a vulcanized rubber strap, which is safe to get wet, but you should never get a leather strap wet, as that is a natural porous material that will degrade. It's also important to remember that you can help avoid accidental drowning by keeping the crown disused. Don't wind it, don't pull it out, don't press it in, and don't use the GMT pusher, not just while the watch is submerged, but while there is water on the case, as attempting to use any of these functions can bypass the seals and introduce water to the interior of the watch. Also important to remember, unlike mechanical specifications, water resistance is not a static feature of your watch. Over time, as lubricants age and seals degrade, your watch will be less water resistant. Therefore, Greubel Forsey recommends at least every 12 months having the watch dry water tested at an authorized service center or dealer where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily determine whether your watch is still water resistant. This is also an ideal time on an annual basis to have the full cosmetic condition as well as the chronometric performance of your watch evaluated to determine whether a greater overhaul may be required. Magnetism is ubiquitous. Its effect will be to magnetize the ferrous hairspring at the center of your watch's balance. That beating balance has a spring inside that is effectively the heartbeat of your watch. Magnetism will cause erratic running, either very slowly or very quickly, and it's important to keep the watch remote from powerful static magnets like speakers, subwoofers, the closures of wallets, purses, or refrigerator doors, as well as high-powered electromagnets such as those created by magnetic resonance imaging equipment, medical magnets, high-powered wiring looms, personal or office devices. If you suspect due to erratic timekeeping that your watch may have become magnetized, take it to an authorized service center or dealer where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily demagnetize your watch. While magnetism can be remediated relatively easily, shock and concussion can cause more permanent ailments. Minimally, vibrations and concussion can alter the chronometric precision of your watch. Maximally, you may cause structural damage to the case and sapphires, perhaps even damage the movement that may stop your watch. Therefore, discontinue use of the watch during concussive activities such as the riding of ATVs or mountain bikes, high-impact sports such as batting, tennis, or golf, or, for example, concussive activities along the lines of firearms marksmanship. Finally, it's important to realize that periodically every high-grade watch will require a comprehensive overhaul. This should be performed exclusively by Greubel Forsey, as Greubel Forsey of Le Chaux de Fonds exclusively has the trained personnel, specialized tools, and original factory replacement parts to protect the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only Greubel Forsey is able to back all labor and parts invested with a factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts, especially me, who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the usage and care of this or any Greubel Forsey timepiece.